Good morning. In this video, we're going to look at the issue of Psalm 12:7 again. And we have some people running around with their computer programs who are putting in, using computer programs as a substitute for actually knowing the language. I got my BibleWorks 8 in the other day. And I went to the Hebrew, not the interlinear, but the Hebrew text. And I put the scroll on there, and sure enough, the pronoun ending for the last word in there is third person singular, masculine, and they define it as a new energetic, which is the same thing as a new demonstrative. In other words, for it. I'll put that in the slide and show you. So the word 88, BibleWorks 8, supports the King James reading in that text. Now, why would it be? If it's a third person singular, why would it be translated as them and not him? Well, the grammar explains that. As in other languages, so and also in Hebrew, the predicate in general conforms to the subject and gender and number. That's normal. That's the common way of looking at it, but there are always exceptions. There are, however, numerous exceptions to this fundamental rule. So these people with the computer programs who want to razzle-dazzle you with a lot of fancy computers and throw up a lot of terms and stuff, they don't take any exceptions. These are due partly to the constructio ad sensum. In other words, the sense. You can change the number on a word based on sense, where attention is paid to the meaning rather than to the grammatical form. And that's what the King James translators did. They changed the form to him, to them, because the grammar allows it. And that's the same thing with the ASV did, same thing New King James translators did. Now these people out there who think that a computer program is a substitute for actually knowing the language are both deceiving you and deceiving themselves. In fact, and D.A. Carson, in his work on exegetical fallacies, he pointed out about word studies and people doing word studies. And these guys always running to, Strong's Concordance or at the back of Strong's Concordance and this lexicon meeting and that lexicon meeting. He says, perhaps the principal reason why word studies constitute a particularly rich source for exegetical fallacies is that many preachers and Bible teachers know Greek only well enough to use concordances or perhaps a little more. There was little feel for Greek as a language. You have to have a feel for language. You have to know the language. You have to be able to read the language and think in the language. And so there was a temptation to display what has been learned and studied, which as often is not as a great deal of lexical information without the restraining influence of context. That's what these guys always want to ignore with the little Bible, computer Bibles that they put up there on the screen, and they're running around showing the parsing this and parsing that, and their interlinears and their translations. They ignore context. The solution, of course, is to learn more Greek. They're too lazy to actually learn to read Greek, learn to read Hebrew. That's too much work. They'd rather just use a computer program, not less, and to gain at least a rudimentary knowledge of linguistics. Clearly, they don't have any idea about linguistics, the idea of exceptions in languages, and they want to lie to you and tell you that this word has to be translated this way because the grammar demands it. Not all the time. Not all the time. And there are plenty of times where in the Hebrew the genders won't match. Times when numbers won't match. Why? The context will allow a translation to translate it differently. So this was just a short, brief exposition on this to explain what the issue is, and that don't be deceived by these guys running with their computer programs. They think a $350 computer program is a substitute for knowing the language. It's not. Amen. Thank you.